What up, YouTube? How is everyone? I hope good. Sorry, I have been outside. I went hiking today, and then I've been working on my furniture that I refurbish and working in my yard, so I just don't look all the greatest. But I decided I wanted to do another video, and this one's going to be 32 life skills that they say to have to succeed in life. Number one is concentration. Number two is time management. Number three is decision making. Number four, saying no. I have to learn that. Number five is patience. Number six is communicate what you desire. Number seven is understanding. Number eight is curiosity, desire to learn. Number 10 is determination. Number 11, willingness to take a risk. Number 12 is competitiveness, if I could say it. Number 13 is sense of humor. Number 14 is enthusiasm. Number 15 is assertiveness. Number 16 is concentration. Number 17 is ethical outlook. Number 18 is collaboration. Number 19 is leadership. Number 20 is team spirit. Number 21 is negotiation. Number 22 is networking. Number 23 is diplomacy. Number 24 is creativity. Number 25 is intuition. Number 26 is empathy, which a lot of people don't have. Mine's like so strong. Number 27 is goal setting. Number 28 is delegation. Number 29 is stress management. Number 30 is attention to detail. Number 31 is listening. And number 32 is provisions. So that is what they say will help you have a more successful life if you have those qualities. If you don't, I suggest that you try to work at the ones that you don't, because it's important to have a very successful life. And if that's the research that they did, because obviously I got this off the internet, then that will definitely help you, move towards being able to be more successful in life and stuff like that. I don't know if I've done this one, but I'm going to do it because that was kind of a short video. This one is 9 habits ambitious people refuse to give up. Number 1, I want success at this, whatever they're doing. They want success at it. Number 2, other people will laugh at me. Don't worry what other people think. People need to stop worrying about that. Number 3, I will be awful if I fail. We all fail at something. Doesn't make us awful. Number 4, it is too hard. Nothing is too hard as long as you set your mind to it and believe you can do it. Number 5, too many things are in my way. Push them the fuck out of your way. Number 6, it is not the right time. It's never the right time. Number 7, I might not enjoy success. Who the fuck wouldn't enjoy success? Number 8, others are far more talented than me. No, they're not. They might be more talented in something that you're way more talented in that they're not. So don't compare yourself to others. Compare yourself to yourself. Compare yourself to what you did last year compared to what you're doing this year, or, last week. Who cares? And number 9, I'm just not worthy enough. And that's ridiculous. We're all worthy of everything. Don't ever think that you're not good enough, you're not worthy enough, that somebody's better than you, because all that is just bullshit. You need to have self-love, self-respect. You need to have, believe in yourself and have confidence that you can do whatever you put your mind to. I'm a prime example of that. I mean, I go from, I went from like losing a job like many years ago to opening up a very successful cleaning business to now then I started remodeling houses and doing plumbing, and I can do it all. I mean, everybody can do it all. You just have to learn, and you have to want to learn, and you have to want to succeed at it. You can do whatever you want. I mean, I don't believe in not being able to do something. You can. If I can, you can. Trust me. I'm going to go ahead and add another one just because they're so short, and I've had these in my notebook for a while, and this is stuff I've been working on for myself, and I want to share with you. Why it is important to have a self-development plan. Ask yourself, do I want to grow as an individual? Well, of course we do. I want to grow. That's why I do so much research. That's why I read so much. That's why I, really strive to be a better person each and every day. And with it, as a parent, as a friend, as a, as say my business, and just as a person in general, I want to be able to grow. I want to be able to learn, and I want to be able to offer more to the world, people out in the world, people around me, and to myself. So, and to my daughter, I want to be able to show her that no matter what we do, we can, if we put our mind to it, we can accomplish anything. We don't have to have Joe Blow over there patting us on the back every time we do something good. You can pat yourself on the back, and you'll know. You need to be proud of yourself. You need to really sit back, and you need to really look at all the accomplishments that you've already done in your life, and know that you are worthy, you are good, you are, you're able to accomplish everything you put your mind to. And you're able to grow in the direction that you want to grow. You just have to do it. You have to put your mind to it. Do I really understand exactly how to do this? Sit down, develop a plan, like I'm saying, write it down. If you have any questions, you can, ask your friends or your family or your loved, your spouse or whomever. But the answer is there inside you. If you would sit down and just take time to really think about what you really want, how you're going to accomplish it, and so on, and just fucking go for it, you'll do it. Well, this is why I recommend you create a self-development plan, as it will provide clarity, provide a roadmap, help you, like I said, highlight obstacles and challenges, because everything we do has obstacles and challenges. That's how we learn. It will be an excellent motivator. It will help motivate you. What does a effective personal development plan need? Number one, defined goals. You need to define your, each goal that you are wanting to meet. A why. Why do you want to meet it? Why do you want to do this? A starting point. Where are you going to start at? Which direction are you going to go in? Excuse me. Then spend the time breaking down each goal to further expand them, is what I'm going to say, to further help you achieve each and every one of them. So, write down each goal, on one piece of paper. Say, I'm going to tear down this wall. I'm just using that as an example. What are you going to need to do to tear down that wall? What tools will you need? Or, how do you check to see if that wall's okay to tear down? Stuff like that. This is kind of like a vision board. Just not as extensive time, like you're not cutting stuff out to put, glue on it and creating this, a vision board to hang up. Why is this sentence a lie? I am not good for anything. Why is that a lie? Like I said before, we are good for a lot of things. If you have somebody telling you that you're not good for anything, you need to get rid of that person. You need to tell them to shut the fuck up and get rid of them. You need to tell yourself, and you need to make yourself understand that we are good. We do good things every single day. We get up and go to work. That's a good thing. Someone's a mechanic. Well, thank God, because a lot of people aren't, and we need that mechanic to work on our vehicles. We have a nurse. Well, thank goodness we have that nurse. Or, that's what everybody's good at something. So don't ever feel like you're not good at anything, because that's far from true. And if you really do think that, then somebody's, fed that into your brain, and you need to reprogram your brain not to think that. If you hear yourself saying this to yourself, well, I am here to say to you, stop it, as that is not true. Just what I got done saying. We all suffer from the imposter syndrome, as every person in this world struggles one way or another with self-esteem. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a rich doctor, you're a lawyer, you're a model, or you're a dishwasher. We all struggle with self-esteem issues. We all think oh my gosh, my body's not perfect. I'm too fat here, or I'm too skinny, or I'm not good like, my sister, she's a chiropractor, and not saying that any other job's not as good as the others. I'm just using examples. So please don't hammer me on this. And say that you're a maid. So you feel like, well, my sister's so much better off than me. Just remember that every job that everyone does, or anything that we do, is we need that person. We need you to clean those rooms. We need a chiropractor. We need, people to wash our dishes when we go to a restaurant, and so on. No one is better than anyone else. Some people might have more money, they might feel better, but you know what? That person's probably not as happy as you are when you're a middle class person that doesn't, isn't having to hold up this image that, you're so great, and you're not, you have great self-esteem when they're dying inside. I mean, that's the examples. No one's perfect. No matter what. Self-love is something that you have to work on every single day. I work on it. I mean, I try. And then there'll be days I feel really good about myself. And then like the next day I'll crash and I feel like shit about myself. It just depends on what's going on in your life and how you deal with it. But there's people like me. I'm like an empath from hell. I mean, I'm so empathetic. It's crazy. So I feel everybody's emotions. I feel my own. And I'm on top of that, I'm a Cancer. And we all know that Cancers are so emotional. And I'm very emotional. I didn't used to be. I used to like hold it all inside, and then I'd become this angry, violent person. And now, I mean, I'll cry at the drop of a dime. I mean, I want my emotions to come out. And people that have known me my whole life, they're like, oh my God, what the hell happened to you? You're going through menopause. Well, yeah, probably. But the thing is I'm not gonna sugarcoat. I'm not gonna mask anything that I'm feeling at that time. If I need to cry, I'm gonna cry. I don't care what people think of me. It's hard enough to sit and worry about yourself and trying to make yourself happy and trying to have confidence and self-love and trying to meet your goals in life and doing all this stuff for yourself, to sit and worry about everybody around you and what they're thinking about you. It's people. I don't even have time for that shit. I mean, it's hard enough, like I said, keeping up with myself. It's hard enough keeping up with my own, ups and downs in life, and, if I'm having a good day or not, and what I need to do if I'm not having a good day. I mean, we need to stop and think and stop worrying about what Joe Blow down the street thinks of you, or Mary Jane at work is saying about you, because people, no matter what, you could be a really good person. You could just go out of your way to help people and love them and, give them, information and, just trying to motivate them and do all this stuff and dress like they want you to dress and wear your hair the way everybody in goddamn town wears their hair. And they're still going to talk about you. They're still going to look down on you. It's not going to change anything because people are honestly ignorant. They don't care. They want to put you down to make themselves feel better. And the reason why they do this is because they have no self-love. The answer to all of the problems in the world is love. Love, love, love. I say that all the time. And if we love ourselves unconditionally and we accept our flaws and we know that, hey, I'm going to fuck up once in a while, or hey, I drank too much last night, or, oh, I shouldn't have done those drugs, or, whatever the situation is in your life. Just know, we all do it. We all make a mistake. Sure, Mary Jane might not drink, but Mary Jane ate 2 pies last night. Or she went and spent thousands of dollars shopping on absolutely nothing. Or, Joe Blow next door, he works all the time. Well, his family suffers because he's never home, but his wife likes to shop. So, but his addictions work, and we can go on and on and on. If you had an affair, well, then you need to figure out why you're having an affair. You need to be honest to the person that you're with and work it out. Either, say you stay married and you go to counseling or whatever it takes, but you need to be honest. Because no matter what, when people find out, they're still going to talk. But as long as you accept it, you're honest about it, and you're honest with other people about it, and you still look at it from unconditional love, it's all going to work out. It's not the end of the world. So, okay, so self-esteem problems, even if some people don't act or show it. A lot of people walk around, they're cocky, they're in their ego, and more than 100%, not 100, probably more than 90% of the time, those people that are making you feel insecure and stuff are the ones that are so insecure that they don't think they're good enough for anything. So you need to remember that. You need to build your own love. You need to, focus on yourself and then focus on the outside world. Because I'll tell you, once you love yourself and focus on you and get your shit under control, you're not over there gossiping about Jill down the street or Bobby Joe next door. You're not worried about what goals they're meeting or not meeting, or if they went and got drunk last night, or if you seen him with another woman. Really what you should do is when you see people like that, you should pray that everything will work out for them, or, ask source or the higher above or whoever you communicate with and believe in, to help them, because they're obviously at a time in their life that they're struggling in something, and they need love, not gossip. They don't need to be ridiculed. They don't need to be put down. They don't need you to tell everybody at the bar that you seen Joe Blow with Cindy instead of Linda. We need to stop. We need to stop and look at it with unconditional love. Because the thing is when you do go tell everybody at the bar, eventually that's going to happen to you, because karma's going to come right back around and bite you right in the ass. And then the next time, that Frank's going to be talking about you being with Cindy when your wife is Lisa, so come on. Let's see here. What we don't realize that the people to post on, sorry, I can't read my own writing. So what we don't realize is that people to post on social media about how perfect their lives are, such as a perfect family, job, etc., are 90% so fucking fake. And they're trying to mask exactly what is going on in their world, because they don't want anyone to know the truth. They want everybody to look at them like they're this perfect family, perfect couple, they got the perfect kids. But the thing is nobody's perfect. So stop trying to make everybody believe that. And again, stop worrying about if your neighbors think you're perfect, because they don't, because they probably hear you fucking arguing. So, or your kids are throwing rocks at their cars or something. We're supposed to live, we're supposed to learn, we're supposed to love, and we're supposed to love ourselves. But we don't need to have everybody patting us on the back and telling us that our life's great, because deep down inside, it's not. So what does that do to help you? It's not helping you, besides your image. But people know the truth. When you walk in a room, they might be all, oh my God, your wife is so beautiful and your kids are so well behaved. Once you walk out, they're like, oh my God, his wife is just gnarly, and those kids are the biggest brats I've ever seen. And that's the truth. This is the truth in life. We don't always like the truth, but we need to face it. We need to really face it. We need to be better people. We start by being a better person within ourselves. And then it trickles out into our life, into our jobs, into our friends. When you set an example, a good example, an honest example, then people follow, and people like that. And people like real honest people. They might not admit it, but they do. Okay, so we all have money issues at times in our lives. We get divorced. We get married. We hate our families, such as siblings. We at times don't even talk to our families. We have nothing to do with them. We end up cutting them out because we just can't deal with their shit anymore. We all have bad hair days, or at times in our lives, we will end up in the blotters. We'll end up in the paper for being arrested for drinking and driving, being arrested for domestic violence, being arrested for fighting in public or passing out in public, or, drugs. No one, not one of us, could this not happen to. Some people can pay to keep their names out of the paper. That happens quite a bit, especially in the town I live in. But instead of being embarrassed by it, you need to look at it like, I really fucked up. I did. I really need to look into this, and I really need to see what I need to do to change this. What lesson am I supposed to learn? As long as you come back and you learned what you were supposed to learn, and you weren't a week later drinking and driving and being arrested again or being caught with drugs again, either you got smart and hid your drugs somewhere else, or you were smart enough not to drive your car to the bar, or or whatever it is, or you and your wife get in a fight. She let them attack you, but don't stand up for yourself, because one of you is going to go to jail. Even if you don't touch each other, you could be screaming. And that happened to me. My husband and I got into a fight. Well, he had fell on the ice and had cut his head before we got home. We had been drinking, and we ended up getting into an argument because he didn't want me to go out. And I had a friend that was in town, and I'm like, well, and he was a control freak, and so that's a whole nother story. But our neighbor called the police, and so by the time the police got there, here's my husband bleeding from falling on the ice because he was drunk, and we had been arguing, and so they arrested me. And so I went to jail, even though I didn't even touch him. But because he had a wound on him, they arrested me, and plus he lied too. I mean, he did it to be a fucking asshole, and he won. I mean, he did. Besides, when he had to go tell the DA the truth that he had lied, and so they had me in the paper as I was arrested for domestic violence, but I was only charged with breach of peace, which means that I was loud and arguing. That's what I was charged with. But do you think that they put that in the paper? No. So everybody in town was going around, oh my God, Sunny was arrested for domestic violence. And the truth of the matter was, it was just an argument. It was him not wanting me to go out and whatever else. I mean, it was just something really silly. But the truth of the matter is still, like, if I go to court over anything else, they bring that up. Even though I wasn't charged with the domestic violence, but everybody still runs their mouths and still judges me and whatever else. Do you think I care? I don't care. I had to learn a while back that I cannot care about what Joe Blow thinks of me. Because you know what? I don't give a shit what Joe Blow thinks of me. I give a shit about what I think of me and how I view myself and how I know I am. Now, did I learn lessons from it? Well, hell yeah. I had to spend like 5 days in jail over a holiday. And so the next time we got into an argument, do you think I was screaming and yelling back? No, I just let him go at it, and I'm like, whatever. So, the issue is that people are too chicken and too much on their high horse, or too embarrassed to admit shit that really goes on in their lives. So they mask it. They want you to believe that they're perfect, and they don't have to meet any goals, that their life is just, I mean, oh my God, it's amazing, from their perfect dressing and to their perfect house that they probably can't afford, to the perfect cars, and they go out to dinner and they buy dinner for all their friends that they can't afford, and so on. But the thing is you know what, we all could have that, and we all could have a perfect life. Not perfect, but we could, if we set goals and we strive towards those goals and we meet those goals. But it starts with us, with our personal development. And that's why a plan, so then you can write down all your flaws. You don't have to tell anybody else. Who cares? Write down all your flaws and what you want to work on. If say you let your parents, you're like 50 years old and you let your parents still tell you what to do, tell you who to date, who's proper, who you should have in your life. That should be a goal, like to tell my parents, back the fuck off. I'm an adult. I don't need you to tell me who I'm going to have in my life and who I'm not. I mean, that's ridiculous. So that's really important. People that we view as doing so well are typically the ones that underneath it all actually are doing the worst. They're the ones that struggle from depression. They struggle from, just anxiety. Their egos, are just, their egos run them. They rule them. A lot of them have hidden addictions, and I'm not talking about one. I'm talking about like many, many addictions. And we all do. No matter who you are, you have an addiction to something. If it's not like being a health freak, it's to smoking cigarettes, it's to smoking weed, to, snorting cocaine, to drinking. The thing is most people are sex. A lot of people have addictions to sex and are like gambling. I mean, there's just a ton, or TV, or, we all have something that we're addicted to. But the thing is you should never be ashamed of it. Speaking out and talking about it helps other people, but it also helps you by admitting it. I mean, I'm not saying that, yeah, you could say, well, I'm a cocaine addict, and that's going to cure you, but at least you're not lying to every person around you, because they do know, even though they might not say anything to you, they know what you're doing. If you have a sex addiction, do you not think that your husband or wife doesn't know? They know. They are ignoring it for some odd reason. I don't know why anybody would ignore, anything, but they do know. They're not dumb. And the source will tell them. It will show them. It will, make sure that they know what you're doing. Or if you're borrowing money from everybody in town and you're asking people that you would never ask for money for, and you're telling them that, well, yeah, I got to move out and I got to get an apartment, but you never go get an apartment. And especially if it's like somebody does that to me, I can tell you right now, you might as well tell me the truth, because I already know, because that's what many of my gifts are. I know. I mean, I see right through people. We need to accept responsibility. We need to own up to our faults, to our bad decisions, and not be embarrassed about it. These are the goals that you need to meet. You need to write down, I am a alcoholic. How am I going to break this habit? What do I need? What support do I need? Who do I need to tell? Who do I need to talk to? And why not talk about it? I admit, I've many times on here, I've fought addictions since I was a kid. I really, really have an addictive personality, and my addictions have really kind of consumed me, but they've never, a lot of people didn't know, because I still could live a normal life. I was a functioning addict. And that means like an alcoholic. I was bad in alcohol, I was bad, because I would just get I would drink so much, I just couldn't function. But I'd still get up and go to work every day, and I lived a normal life besides that. When I did drugs, the same thing. I'd stay up all night doing cocaine or whatever, and I'd still go to work, and nobody would know. Besides, I'd lose a ton of weight and whatever else, and, eventually I'd crash out, or whatever it was, smoking weed, or my addictions to shopping, or, whatever it is. But I'm not afraid to admit it, because you know what? I'm no different than anybody else. And if you want to view me as a bad person, you can do whatever you want. Do you think it's going to bother me? No. I've had people say the most horrible things about me that aren't true. It really crushed me. It took me years and years to recover from this. And for me to believe that one day people wouldn't view me like I had killed my husbands and so on, and I was cheating on my husbands and all this stuff. There were so many lies and rumors that it was horrible. And it just, as the person I am, and what I have always, been an honest person. I've always told, what I'm saying. I've never been afraid to speak out. If I was unhappy in a relationship, I would walk away. I would tell them the truth. I'm not in love with you. I can't be in this relationship with you anymore. I'm sorry I'm hurting you. It's hurting me, but it's hurting us both more if I'm staying here. Or, hey, I went out and got drunk last night, and, I slept, and this is an example. I slept with Joe Blow, and I'm married to Kurt over here. You know what I mean? It's just, we need to learn to do more, accept more responsibility, and we need to not be afraid to speak our mind. If you're not happy, you're not happy. You need to tell whomever you're with or whatever it is, hey, I'm not happy. This is what I need to be happy. Are you going to be able to work with this with me? Are you going to be able to, or do you think we're going to be able to accomplish this? Because you don't just forget that you're unhappy. It doesn't go away. You can't ignore that problem. And that's what people are doing. And that's why this world is so in utter chaos, so angry, so hateful. And there's so many addictions and so many hidden shit, because nobody feels that they can admit the truth. Well, the truth is what sets us free, right? Well, that's what we need to do. So in your personal development plan, you need to include all this. because I don't care who you are, you have some addiction that you would like to get rid of, that you would want somebody to know, but you're too ashamed or you're too embarrassed. Fuck that. Because you know what? People are a lot more understanding when they know the truth. And when you go to them and you explain to them what this addiction, or whatever it is, if you want to go buy a yacht, and you write it down and you're like, this is my personal development, this is what's going to make me happy, this is what's going to help me succeed in my life, is if I go buy this yacht. Well, if you're with a good person, they'll understand and they'll be like, well, how can we do this together? What can we do to reassure that you can buy this yacht, or or whatever it is? We need to work on ourselves. We need to focus on ourselves. Even though people think it's selfish, that's bullshit. You come first, always. You come first before your kids, before your parents, before your spouses, before your friends, before anybody, because it starts with you. And if you are struggling in all these areas, but you're putting on this mask and they do know, but they might not know the extent of it, how are you going to better your life? How are you going to succeed? How are you going to grow? You're not. What's going to happen is the universe is going to keep allowing you to go, like kind of letting you pull on the rope and kind of go out a little ways, but you're not doing what you're supposed to do. We're supposed to learn. We're supposed to grow. We're supposed to be honest. We're supposed to do stuff with pure love in our hearts. Eventually, the universe is going to get sick of it and be like, you know what? Yank. And that's what's going to happen. Your whole life is going to be yanked out from you, from under you. And you're going to be looking at all these people still, but this time it's going to be because you're sitting behind bars in jail because you did whatever, or your spouse is going to find out that you were sleeping with Linda Lou because you were unhappy in your marriage. And then you have your kids and all your family looking at you like, why didn't you just tell us? It takes a bigger person to be an adult, to actually have self-love, self-confidence, and want to grow and want to develop the life that you want. It's simple. We all can reach it. We all can strive for it. We can all achieve it. We just have to want it. And by wanting it is what I just explained. Truth, honesty, the realization that, I loved my wife in high school. We've been together for 20 years, but she doesn't make me happy anymore. I'm not in love with her anymore. Your children will not suffer. I mean, if you're honest, you tell your children, and if you guys co-parent together without fighting and being a bunch of assholes to each other and treating each other like you're, better than each other, and telling everybody in town what a piece of shit your husband is because he left you, because you're a bitch to him every day and don't give him sex or any attention or whatever. I mean, there's so much to this, but we need to develop it, even if you have to write on that development plan. My husband doesn't make me happy. I'm not in love with him anymore. This is what I need to change. And that can either, you can try to make, your relationship work and grow, or you can tell him, I want you to go over my